A very important pool for the city. Remember, we have two pools in Second Temple period Jerusalem. We have one in the south, one in the north. Today we'll see the one in the south. That's here, the Pool of Siloam. When we go back to the old city tomorrow, in 2 days, tomorrow we're going to the Dead Sea. Tomorrow we'll see the Pool of Bethesda, which is on the northern side. Both of these pools are water sources for the city, but both of these pools are also associated with something else. There are two places in the city of Jerusalem that Yeshua heals people on the Sabbath. You guys remember where?
What?
Very good. The Pool of Bethesda and the Pool of Siloam. There's a trick question. I just stated both of them.
I didn't hear it.
Yep.
I don't have my ears.
That's right. So here, what happens? At the other one, you have the Pool of Bethesda. You have the lame man. Here, you have the blind man. And he comes down. It actually doesn't happen here. It happens on the passageway, which we're not going to see now. But he picks up dirt, spits on it, and then rubs it on his eye and says, "Go and wash." Well, this is where he washes because he's on the south. So he comes here. Now, the reason why he sends him here, it's actually quite brilliant what Yeshua is doing, is he's trying to show them a contrast of what happens here and what can happen through. The only person that can really bring you healing is God, right? Everyone in Second Temple period is always gathered around the pools, whether it's this one or the one in the north, because of a event that takes place here. During the high holidays, this place would be packed with your passerbyers, the pilgrims, but also all the injured people, the lepers, the blind, the lame, all these people hang out here. The reason why is there's a tradition that during the high holidays, the angel of the Lord comes here. And when you see the water stirring in the pools, the first person to go in is healed from whatever they have. So this place is always going to be filled with people that need help. There's another reason for it. This is where everyone goes. So if you're going to beg, this is the best place to do it because everybody has to come get their water here. Now, since you have this pool here and people are lining up to get that one lucky shot to be healed, to get in the water, you see what Yeshua is doing is he tells his disciples that we carry this power, right? Later on, earlier on, we talked about what happens up in Magdala. The lady just grabs onto his tzitzit and she's healed. Well, we're all supposed to go do greater miracles than him, right? So if this is our command, this is what God is telling us to do. Yeshua is telling us to go do this. Well, why not start here? These are our brothers and sisters that need the healing, but they're waiting for a man-made tradition, a tradition where once a year you can be healed if you're the lucky person, right? But who's the one who's healing us? It's not the water. It's God. God is the only one that can heal.
So he used their tradition against them.
He's using their tradition to prove a point.
Yeah.
This is a man-made thing. Okay, yes, people are healed, but God is the one that heals. You want healing, turn to God. Remember what we learned about El Shaddai. If you have some sort of need, well, I'm the guy. I'm also Adonai Rofeh. Let's say it in English. Adonai Rapha?
Yeah.
Rapha? That means doctor in Hebrew. Rofeh. I am the Lord, your healer. God is giving us all these attributes of himself. We need nothing else other than to turn to him for help. You need something? Ask me. I am the one that gives it. And he wants to give it, unlike every other God in the area, right? Everyone else you have to appease. God is freely throwing this stuff at us. That's what Yeshua is combating, this mentality of, I have to do the traditions. The tradition is stay here, stare at the water stirs, jump in head first, hopefully you come up healed, right? No, this is wrong. This is wrong, okay? So that happens up on the staircase, and he sends them down here. Now, today we only see a very small portion. We're sitting on the upper steps. There's always going to be two levels when we talk about a water source because it's open to the public. People will come here. The water comes down here when it rains. So you can see we're located in the valley. This is actually a valley going straight up the mountain, although we can't see it today. The city's been built on top of it, but it's called the Tyropean Valley. The Tyropean Valley. And let's check the time because the bus will be here in 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes. Perfect. I want to do something else really quick. We can always talk about the Tyropean Valley because we can't see it anywhere. But I want to talk about, did I mention the sheen on your mezuzahs? Mezuzot. You guys know what a mezuzah is?
Yeah.
The thing on the door, right. The most common thing to see on it is the Hebrew letter Sheen. You guys know the Hebrew letter Sheen? It looks like a W, number 3, the fingers. So, this is the most common thing because it stands for Shaddai, El Shaddai, God the breasted one. Okay? And to remind you of everything we need, and we talked about what the mezuzah is, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. As I walk into this room, this is how I'm to act, right? But the letter Sheen is a very specific letter when we talk about God's name. Jerusalem is probably the most controversial city on the face of the earth, right? Somebody farts here and the entire world goes up in arms. Sorry. Right. I mean, that's simple, you know? Literally. But when we talk about who owns the land, whoa, now we got, World War III on the horizon, okay? The claim to this land, it's probably the most claimed land by everybody on the face of the earth. Every nation is here. Everybody's trying to get a little piece of Jerusalem for themselves. When we said the only person that actually has the right is God. This is God's land. And God divides it up amongst his people, okay? It's his to give away, no one else's. But in case we forget, God's brilliant. Oh, he's such a good God. He marks it. God says, I put my name on this land. That's what he says about the Temple Mount. That's why he builds his house there. But it's not enough to just build a big, massive temple with a pillar of fire that never moves, rain, shine, snow, never moves. Nope. I'm going to put my actual name on the ground. If you look at the city of Jerusalem and you look at the valleys, we have the Valley of Gehinnom, the Tyropean Valley, and the Kidron Valley. If you Google zoom out, it makes the letter Sheen on the ground. God literally stamped the ground with his name, and it all wraps around the Temple Mount in this city of David. Okay? Now, in case nothing, and nothing is harmed. You can still see it on a map, Google map. But that's not enough. If you look from Jerusalem, or Bethel, which means the house of God, to the city of Jerusalem, in the valleys all around it is the name Yehovah, Jehovah in Hebrew. In the valleys. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. You don't believe me? That's fine. You can Google search that because someone marked it on the map. He took the satellite image and wrote it in Hebrew so you can see it. And it's on Google now. So God literally has marked it twice. In the Bible, we always say when you have something mentioned twice in the same sentence, it's like putting an exclamation mark. Well, God just put an exclamation mark in the land itself. In case you don't believe Jerusalem is mine, well, from Bethel to here, that's Samaria to Judea. That's what we call the West Bank today. That whole area is God's name. It's not just God's name. It's I am that I am, I was that I was, and I will be that I will be. Yehovah, that's what that means. It's a verb. It's constant. It's flowing. It's always been mine, it is mine, and it will be mine. So we talk about who owns the land, the claim to the land. Well, it's always been his, it always is his, and it will be his. And it's whoever he chooses to give it to. I thought that was kind of fun to talk about since we're standing in one of the valleys right now. And they all meet right here at the tip, okay? So just out here, when we go out, you'll see where the valleys kind of come together. In that area over there, that's the Garden of the King. That's where his garden was, okay? Outside the city. But there was no wall back then. It was called the Garden of the King. Right, what was I saying? Okay, so here you have this pool. You have the two levels over here. Did I finish that sentence? So the winter level and summer level. Because all the water will flow down here. Originally, it wasn't closed off. Hezekiah closes it off, but he still channels all the water down because we don't want to waste any of this valuable water. So in the summertime, the water level is going to be lower because evaporation. And there's no rain. In the wintertime, the water level is higher. So we're standing on the steps. So if we were coming in the winter to get water, we'd be up here going down and picking up water right down here. In the summertime, that's the second staircase right down below. So where the dirt is, that's where you collect the water. It just depends on the different seasons, okay? Directly through over there where that group is going right now is a walkway to go up. We're not going to go there because it's very moldy, very steep, and a lot of us won't survive, including myself. So we're going to take the bus and go around, and we'll be connecting to where they come out later on. But that is the original passageway up to the Temple Mount. That's where that pomegranate ball was found. Okay? But not where they went to the left, to the right is where it was found, and they've just recreated that whole area. I don't think it's open. It's blocked with a big wooden thing, but soon enough it will be opened, and that is the original passageway. Okay? So if you want, you guys can run over there. No, you can't. We gotta go. Time to go. So guys, just a couple warnings. We are leaving this site. We're walking into a Muslim village. So please stick together. Let's move